Assalamu alaikum students, and good morning to all of you. Hope all of you are doing well. As you all know, my name is Nida Sahar and I am your social studies teacher. So students, today we are going to review our third chapter, Water and Power. I am also going to discuss book exercises with you. Students, do you remember the points which we had discussed in this chapter? We had discussed about the natural resources, water cycle, different sources of water, what is an industrial country, what is power and its different forms like hydroelectricity, fossil fuels which is thermal power, atomic power, other forms of power, and raw materials. So let's begin. So what are natural resources? Natural resources are the substances or things that occur naturally on or in the earth, mostly in large quantities. In this picture you can see different types of natural resources that are essential to support life and meet the needs of people. They include air, water, soil, trees, forest, wildlife, coal, petroleum, natural gas, and minerals. Okay kids, as you all know that water is an important natural resource. Almost 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Water is found in different places on the land and there is plenty of water in the sea. The difference is that water on land is fresh water, but sea water is salty. We use fresh water for most of our needs. Kids, can you tell me the sources of fresh water? They include stream, rivers, lakes, ponds. We use fresh water for most of our needs. Okay kids, I'm sure you all remember what water cycle is. The water cycle describes the continuous movement of water on, above and below the surface of earth. Water evaporates from the oceans and returns back to the land in the form of rain. There are three main stages of water cycle. Number 1, evaporation. Number 2, condensation. Number 3, precipitation. So the first stage of water cycle is evaporation. What is evaporation? The conversion of water into vapors by the heat of the sun is known as evaporation. Water from lakes, ocean and seas is converted into vapors by the heat of the sun. Then these vapors cool and condense to form clouds. The formation of clouds is known as condensation. And after formation of the clouds, when these clouds get heavy, the rain or snow falls from these clouds and the water return back to the earth. This process is known as precipitation. Kids, can you tell me the main sources of water? The main sources of water include rainfall, wells, tube wells, solar pumps, dams and barrages. Rainfall. Rainfall means water falling in drops from vapors condensed in the atmosphere. In Pakistan, most of the rain falls during the monsoon season. As it does not rain all the time, it is important to store water for later use. And how do we store water? That is why number of dams, reservoirs and tanks have been built where water can be stored. Kids, do you remember what are wells? Wells are large holes dug in the ground to obtain water from underground sources. There are many wells in our country even today, and they are useful where there is no supply of piped water. Now tube wells are the modified version of wells. They are dug by drilling very deep in the ground. A tube or casing is put into the hole, as you can see in the picture. Water from many hundreds of meters below the surface is pumped up by electric or diesel pumps. Now the solar pumps. Solar pumps use energy from the sun to bring underground water up to the surface. Farmers use it to irrigate their farms, though it is very expensive method. Farmers in the northern areas of Pakistan are already using solar pumps. Now the dams. Kids, do you remember what dams are? Dams are built on the large rivers to store water and to slow its movement towards the sea. Dams are built on the upper part of a river when it is flowing fast through the mountain valleys. Dams are called multi-purpose projects because they are helpful in irrigation, they are helpful in storing water, and they also help us to generate electricity. Kids, do you remember the main dams of Pakistan? The main dams of Pakistan are Mangla Dam, Tarbela Dam and Varsak Dam. What are barrages? Another way of controlling the flow of river is by building a barrier across them. This is called a barrage. Barrage has gates which control the flow of water, especially in the times of flood. Kids, do you remember what is this? This is the Sakhar barrage. The Sakhar barrage is built on the river Indus, and Sakhar, with its 7 canals, it supplies water to about 25% of the total canal irrigated area of Pakistan. Kids, do you remember what is hydroelectricity? Hydroelectricity means the electricity that is generated from water. Hydro means water. It is generated by the water stored in dams. The dams have special gates, as you can see in the background. There are turbines near the gates. The power created by the turbines goes to the generator, which changes it into electrical power. Here you can see how it works. Water is released from the reservoir or the dam, flows through a turbine. As you can see over here, the direction of arrows, the movement of water makes the turbine move or spin, which in turn activates the generator to produce electricity. Generator is a device that converts one form of energy into electrical energy. So that's how hydroelectricity is produced, by the movement of water. Now fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are fuels formed by natural resources. These fuels are formed in the earth over millions of years from decayed organisms and produce carbon dioxide when burned. Fossil fuels are found underground. A fossil is the remain of an animal or plant that has been pressed between the rocks for many thousands of years. There are three main types of fossil fuels: oil, natural gas, and coal. Now the nuclear power. Do you remember what nuclear power is? Nuclear power is the use of the nuclear reactions that release excessive amount of energy to generate heat, which is then used in steam turbines to produce electricity. Nuclear power stations are expensive to build. There are two nuclear stations in Pakistan, in Karachi and in Chashma. Now another kind of power is the solar power. Solar, as the name indicates, the energy from the sun. Energy from the sun is stored in solar panels placed in rooftops or special locations. As you can see, these are the PV panels. Solar power is the conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity by using these solar panels. It is used to generate electricity. They convert the solar energy into electrical energy. However, this is a very expensive method of producing power. Now the raw materials. What are raw materials? Anything which is in a natural state and is not man-made is a raw material. A raw material is the basic or natural material from which a product is made. Raw materials are materials or substances used in the production or manufacturing of goods. These are the natural materials that are used in manufacturing of goods. Raw materials can be plants or minerals. So what are minerals? Minerals are solid substances that are present in nature. Minerals are found in the earth's crust and in rocks. They are found everywhere in the world. Minerals are of two types: metallic and non-metallic. Now see some examples of minerals. Here are some metallic minerals: copper, iron, gold, silver. And here are some non-metallic minerals: marble, salt, and sulfur. So what are minerals? Minerals are solid substances which are found in nature. Okay kids, it's time to discuss book exercises. On page 52 there is exercise A. Look in a dictionary or encyclopedia and find out more about these things. Number 1, reservoir. What is reservoir? A large natural or artificial lake used as a source of water, used to store water. Number 2, glacier. A large, slowly moving river of ice. Number 3, dam. A barrier that stops the flow of water. Number 4, barrage. A barrier across a river to prevent flooding. Number 5, resource. A supply of material or any natural thing, any natural substance that is found in the earth. Number 6, canals. Artificial waterways to supply water. Number 7, hydroelectricity. Electricity produced by the flow of water, by the movement of water. Number 8, turbine. It is a wheel-like machine. Number 9, generator. A machine, a device which is used to convert one form of energy into electrical energy. Now this is exercise B. This is the simplest exercise. You just have to label the diagram. What this diagram is, this is water cycle, and you just have to label the different stages of water cycle. Okay kids, that is all for today's lecture. I hope everything is well understood. In the next class we are going to start our new chapter, climate. Till then, all of you stay home, stay safe and study hard. Take care and Allah Hafiz.